Up next for our Crockpot series is shrimp Alfredo, and we're going to do it like a shrimp stir-fry Alfredo. So I have 2 bags of shrimp, and this is just the cooked small shrimp, already peeled and deveined, tail off. This is 12 ounces. This looks like it's maybe 6. I don't know. It's just, they're the exact same thing. This is just a full portion that's half. So I'm going to cook the whole 18 ounces. So it's a little, it's like maybe 2.5 cups, 3 cups of shrimp. And I'm just going to do the entire thing. So again, we're starting off with my Hamilton Beach Crockpot, which I have linked down below if you're interested in it. Pretty inexpensive, pretty good Crockpot that you can get anywhere. I sprayed it down with some cooking spray. We're also going to use, this is just a HEB brand roasted garlic Alfredo. I also have a Bertolli Alfredo. I'm going to use one, this is a 15-ounce jar. I'll put my shrimp in and then toss the sauce over it. Okay, so I have the shrimp in there. I just poured my whole sauce, my whole can of Alfredo, or the whole jar of Alfredo sauce. Now this looks like a lot of sauce for just the amount of shrimp that I have. And I did leave kind of, since my shrimp was frozen, the water that was in it will thin out the sauce a little bit. You really don't have to add any seasoning or anything. This is pretty much good to go. You can just let it simmer in here and then add your veggies later. However, I am going to make it my own little concoction and add in some of my own seasoning. Okay, so for seasoning, I ended up adding in garlic powder, onion powder, parsley flakes, a little bit of seasoning salt, and some pepper. And that's pretty much like my go-to seasoning for most things. You'll notice whenever I like extra season stuff. You could also throw in some onions, some extra garlic, like minced garlic in here. You could do Italian seasoning, but I kind of like to keep it simple and just like that. Dress up the, you could also make your own homemade Alfredo, but I'm not. I'm just trying to use up what I have in my pantry. So I put this on low. It's about 2:30 right now. I'm going to check on this before we leave for swim class, which is at 4:30. So I'm going to put it on low for 2 hours. Technically the shrimp, it just needs to kind of be heated through, and so does the sauce. So 2 hours should be plenty of time. And right before I leave for swim class, I will toss in the vegetables and leave it on low for about an hour. So I'll come back and show you guys that when we get there. Okay, so it's been about an hour and 45 minutes, and I just went ahead and put in some frozen broccoli florets. It's just regular frozen broccoli. And I don't know, I put in probably about 2 to 3 cups, and I just wanted to stir it to see what it looked like and then see if I needed to add some more. But it's just, again, frozen. The shrimp's fully cooked. Everything's nice and warm. So now this will kind of cool it down again. And then what I'll do is, I was going to add some squash, some snap peas, but I figured broccoli would kind of, shrimp is already something I'm not too sure that Maddie especially is going to love. So she loves broccoli with sauce on it. So I think this will keep it a little bit more appetizing for her. And you know what, I actually think I'm going to add in some more broccoli. I wasn't sure if it was going to be too thick or not, but I'm going to add in just a little more broccoli. That was actually the last of the bag. I didn't even mean to add this much, but it'll be okay because it'll kind of shrink down and absorb all of that extra sauce. And then we will have this over, you could either do it over rice or over pasta. And I think we're going to do it over some whole wheat spaghetti and have a shrimp Alfredo. That was a lot of broccoli. Oh well. So now I'm going to let this sit for the next, let's see, we'll be back from swim class in about another hour and 45 minutes. It should all be cooked. We'll put it over pasta and I will show you the finished product. Okay, welcome back to another Crockpot series. Today we are doing creamy Italian pork chops. So I have a little over 1.5 pounds of boneless pork chops. These are just the thin cut ones. It actually doesn't say thin cut. They're not the wafer thins. They're just thinner than the regular pork chops. Don't mind my lean pocket in the background there. I have one of the Italian dressing mix, just little things. It's the kind that you can actually make Italian dressing with. You can find this in the dressing aisle where like the ranch mix and stuff is. And I have a large 26-ounce can of cream of mushroom condensed soup. This is the reduced sodium. So I am going to, I'm kicking myself, I don't have any more Crockpot liners, but because whenever you do like cream of mushroom and stuff, it kind of gets all gross around the edges. But I'm going to put the pork chops in. I'm going to spray my Crockpot, put the pork chops in, put the Italian dressing, sprinkle it all over the pork chops, and then I'm going to dump in 1 whole can of the cream of mushroom. And I'm going to look, I don't think I'm going to do any water. Typically when you cook with this, like, let's say you're going to do it with noodles or something, you would put like 1 whole can of water. I don't think I'm going to do any water. I'll show you guys when it's in there. I started to dump the cream of mushroom. I thought I would show you guys. So I just layered the pork chops in there and literally drizzled them with the entire container of the Italian dressing mix. And then now all I'm going to do is pour over the cream of mushroom. And yeah, I'm not going to add any water. This will definitely be good enough on its own. And then what I'm going to do is take my tongs here and I'm going to kind of lift up. Especially now, if you're going to be here to watch this, you don't necessarily have to spread this around because you can do this at a later time, but I'm not going to be here until they're done. So I'm going to kind of spread this around. And I was going to cook this on high, but I may actually cook this on low because it'll have a good 5 hours to cook, and these are super thin pork chops. So yeah, that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to put the lid on it and I will check on it later. Came home from a like 5-hour day away from the Crockpot. I left the Crockpot on low, which I'm very happy that I did. I was going to put it on high, but I'm glad I left it on low. I just opened it and added some parsley. This is what the pork chops look like. So lots of extra gravy. And I'm going to serve it with some mac and cheese and broccoli. So this is what the pork chops look like. All cooked. And they actually kind of fall apart. See? So good. So that is Italian Crockpot pork chops. You can definitely substitute the cream of mushroom if you don't like cream of mushroom for cream of chicken or cream of celery. I also want to try it with cream cheese one day, but this is what we did for today. So I will show you guys what it looks like plated. Here is what's for dinner tonight. We have probably about 5 ounces of boneless pork chops in some Italian sauce of some sort. It's cream of mushroom, Italian seasoning, and parsley. I have that on a Crockpot meal coming up. Some broccoli with a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper, and a serving of just the HEB Deluxe mac and cheese. That is from my pantry.